Today is the day. I'm finally visiting Rottnest Island, something I've wanted to do since I first came to Australia in 2011. Only a short 30-minute ferry ride away from the Fremantle port, at 7:30 a.m. we set sail, and once we got there, I was off. I headed straight out of the settlement, the town on the island, and towards my first destination, Little Salmon Bay, for a morning snorkel. I thought it would take a lot longer than it did to bike to Little Salmon Bay, so I tired myself out real quickly. But man, this island is gorgeous. Most of the island looks just like this, just stunning views end to end. The salt lakes, the bush, and the shores are just some of the highlights you'll see here at Rottnest. But I had a couple of objectives for the day that I wanted to do, most important of which was to do what every tourist should try to do while you're here: get a selfie with the happiest marsupial on the planet, the quokka. Once I got to Little Salmon Bay, I whipped out my new action camera and headed into the chilly waters. I apologize for the shaky footage. It gets better as the day progresses. I had never used this camera before, so it was my first time. Once I got out of the water, I headed back to Salmon Bay, which was, in my opinion, the most beautiful spot on the island. I think you'll see why. I headed back in the water for the second snorkel of the day. After that, I headed back towards Little Salmon Bay and biked to Porpoise Bay. Now, Porpoise Bay is where the first explorers landed at Rottnest, and where they found the quokka, which they thought was a giant rat, hence the name Rottnest, which translates to rat's nest. Once I left Porpoise Bay, I kept riding past Henrietta Rocks, where I saw the shipwreck called Shark. I didn't go in, and the footage you're seeing is from later in the day when I swung back around to try to snorkel, but it was way too choppy. Anyway, after I rode past Henrietta Rocks, I finally encountered my first quokka. He was minding his own business and didn't really want a selfie, so I kept on going. But don't worry, later in the day, I found 2 other quokkas, and I finally got my selfie. Now it's time to say goodbye to these cute little guys and head back to the settlement to continue our journey. I passed the train tracks where the Rottnest train rides around all day, taking passengers around the island. I also passed the airport, if you can't be bothered to ferry to Rottnest, and the movie theater on the island. After I got back to the settlement and had lunch, I set forth to my final snorkel spot of the day, Pinky Beach. After I left Pinky Beach, I decided to put down the camera for a little while and just take in the north half of the island for myself. It was so peaceful, and definitely a workout. After looping around the south end of the island again, I finished the day with the cheapest beer I could find. I thoroughly enjoyed my day at Rottnest, and I didn't even see the whole island. But it was finally time to say goodbye to Rottnest. It was a blast. I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, I'll see you guys in a few weeks.